Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. My name is Scott Reich, and this is Crime Talk. Hey, let's get straight to the docket. First thing, you want to talk about some royal dough? Yeah, let's do that. Second, the Paislee Shultis case, an update. One way to spend your PPP money, that's right, let's hire a hitman. You want to talk about some real pettiness? We're going to give you an example of that. Emotions show weakness. They taught me that in the military, and it's played pretty well. But let me give you an example of why it's a good thing. Now, a Tennessee mom, she's going to be a good example of showing some real school spirit. And then finally, our dumb criminal of the day. Let's talk about it. Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. It is Thursday, February 17th, 2022. My name is Scott Reich, and this is Crime Talk. All right, first, if you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell so you get notifications of when we go live or we put up new content. And remember, always leave me a comment about what we discussed today. And remember, you can always listen to us anytime, not only this episode, but all the previous episodes. You can listen to us by downloading Crime Talk with Scott Reich on any of your favorite podcasting apps. So we're with you anywhere you go, any time of the day. Don't forget about us. All right, first, let's get to the docket. You want to talk about some royal dough? Yeah, let's do that. Well, as we brought to you the other day, the now disgraced British royal Prince Andrew was urged to disappear forever from public life after settling a sexual assault lawsuit. As Queen Elizabeth II has suffered some further indignity in her Platinum Jubilee year, Queen Elizabeth, who's reportedly helping to foot the bill for the Andrew settlement, also saw her elder son, Prince Charles, embroiled in fresh controversy over a cash for honor scandal. Police in London say they are investigating claims that an aide to Charles offered UK honors and even citizenship to a Saudi tycoon in return for donations to charitable foundations run by Prince Charles. Well, it's good to know that you have corruption all around the world. It's not just here in the United States where people make donations to foundations that get all kinds of money when they're running for president, and then when they lose, it all stops. Well, these revelations came after Charles Younger's brother, Andrew, settled his lawsuit brought by the Virginia Jeffries, sparing him the public humiliation of a trial. The settlement is rumored to be £12 million. What does that translate to? Yeah, $16.3 million. Miss Roberts and £2 million for victims of sex trafficking. Now, according to the Daily Telegraph, the money will come from private estates belonging to Queen Elizabeth. And British media called on Prince Andrew to withdraw entirely from public life after he was already stripped of his honorary military ranks and his title of His Royal Highness. It's good to know things never change. People always ask me, Scott, who pays for the legal fees of your clients? And you know what I have to say? I say, thank God for parents and grandparents. And it's good to know that for Prince Andrew, a 60-something-year-old guy, I think he's 61, his mom is still coming to the rescue. Some people could say that'd be a little bit of TMM at 61. That's right, too much mommy. But what do you expect from a guy who's never really done anything in his 61 years other than be a member of the, lucky sperm club? That's about it. All right, Paislee Shultis. Well, the parents and the grandfather of the 6-year-old who was found alive under the stairs of her parents' home in upstate New York after having been missing for 2 years appeared in court for the first time on Wednesday. Kimberly Cooper and Kurt Shultis, 32, were arrested Monday night after police found Paislee Shultis, now 6, being held in a dark, wet room underneath the staircase in the Sagittarius home. The father and son, who refused to answer any questions, were charged with 1 count each of felony custodial interference in the first degree and misdemeanor child endangerment. They are scheduled to appear again on April 27th. Now, Cooper also declined to answer any questions and covered her face with a hoodie upon leaving court. She's been charged with second-degree custodial interference and misdemeanor endangerment of the welfare of a child. Now, Lauren Swan, the prosecutor, said she's being investigated with potential for additional charges as well. The next court date for her is scheduled for March 2nd. When neighbors were interviewed, they said they apparently were a little flabbergasted that this missing girl had been in the home this entire time. Apparently no one had ever seen her. They thought that Miss Cooper and Mr. Shultis seemed like regular people. Well, what do child kidnappers look like? You never know, now do you? That's why you got to check people out. Maybe you want to check out those neighbors. Just like we've mentioned over the years when you go to CrimeTalkSearch.com. Get that warm, fuzzy feeling. Check them out. Apparently, the neighbors say they never saw the girl outside of the home, and during the investigation, it was discovered that Paislee did have her own room. On the wall is apparently said Paislee, and there were some clothes that belonged to the child. However, the father and grandfather said that they had that room set up so that if Paislee ever was found, she had a place to come back to. Oh, isn't that sweet? Liars. Liars, that's what they are. Obviously, we'll give them the presumption of innocence, but yeah, no good excuse as to why they didn't report the daughter and granddaughter. Did they report missing, found after 2 years? Liar. Please go to CrimeTalkSearch.com, sign up for a background subscription service. You'll be happy you did. If there's anyone out there you were ever curious about what was in their background, now is the time to do it. If you're going to get involved with somebody, now is the time to do it. When you go to CrimeTalkSearch.com, you put in the name, literally millions of public records are searched, and a report is generated. And it's going to give you a report. If they have multiple social media accounts, you're going to find it. If they have multiple phone numbers, multiple email addresses, it's going to be found. And more importantly, you're going to get information regarding criminal history. Hopefully the person you're searching has none whatsoever. But if it's there, it's going to be found. You're going to get everything you'd want to know, whether you're going into business or whether you're going into a personal relationship. You're going to be able to find out the information you want to know. So go to CrimeTalkSearch.com, sign up today. You'll be happy you did. All right. Now, a lot of people got their PPP loans. Most people used it for what they were for, right? Which was using it to cover expenses and payroll. Well, a Florida woman took it a little beyond what normal people do. That's right. She hired a hitman. So a Florida woman was arrested for allegedly using her pandemic relief loan to hire a hitman to kill a Miami Federal Airport officer. Jasmine Martinez received her loan on April 20th of 2021, and 2 weeks later, a man she hired shot and killed LaShante Jones while she was walking into her apartment. Now, Martinez and Jones had a history of run-ins, and Martinez had been accused of a string of previous attacks on Jones. In 2016, Martinez was accused of hitting Jones, who was reportedly dating Martinez's ex-boyfriend at the time. In 2018, Martinez was arrested for beating Jones up. Then in 2020, Martinez's boyfriend, Kelly Nelson, allegedly attacked Jones at the Miami criminal courthouse while they were in the parking lot. Now, last year, Jones filed a police report against Martinez and claimed that Martinez was harassing her to change her story about the 2020 assault. Jones, however, didn't take Martinez's advice. Police identified the alleged shooter as an ex-convict named Javon Carter. Martinez accused of paying Carter at least $10,000 to murder the victim. Police also said that the funds used to pay Carter came from the $15,000 PPP loan that was intended to help out Martinez's beauty salon. A few hours after the murder, Carter posted a video of himself holding money to social media with the caption, "Just another day at the office." Oh, I'm sure it was. Now, 9 months later, Carter was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and attempted murder. The attempted murder charge is from the bullet that grazed the victim's 3-year-old during the shooting. Another man, Rommel Robinson, was arrested in connection with the shooting, although his attorney says Robinson was incarcerated the night of the shooting. The Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office plans to push for grand jury indictments of first-degree murder for all the defendants, which could possibly mean a death penalty sentence. Of course, assuming they're all found guilty. We'll give them the presumption of innocence as well, but sounds like there's a lot of evidence. Doesn't look good. At least maybe they'll televise it. Let's do that. Hey, you want to talk pettiness? Here is some super pettiness. A trial has been set for the Alabama man who was arrested last month for leaving flowers at his fiance's gravesite. Winchester Higgins will stand trial next month for criminal littering for leaving a planter's box at Memorial Park Cemetery in Auburn. His fiancée, Hannah Ford, was killed in a 3-vehicle crash in January 2021, just 1 month after they had been engaged. Hagen said he left the flower box, which was decorated with pictures of the couple, at her gravesite because she preferred live flowers over cut ones. He also reportedly asked the city if he was allowed to place the planter's box at the gravesite, and the city said they would not take any action unless her family complained. Well, apparently somebody did, because late last month, Hagen was pulled over for an expired tag, and police discovered that he had a warrant out for his arrest for littering. The criminal complaint was reportedly signed by Ford's father. Now, Hagen claims that somebody in the Ford's family kept discarding the flowers he left at his fiancee's grave. However, Hagen's alleged that nobody directly told him to stop leaving flowers at the Ford's gravesite before his arrest. Now, the Auburn police said that technically, some burial plots are considered private property because they are managed by the decedent's family. Hagen's has pled not guilty to the littering charge. Ford's father has not publicly commented on the case. I understand he's probably grieving about his daughter's death, but it was a car accident. Things happen in life. That's just petty. Go through the cycle of grief, get through it, work through it. You can do that. All right. Now, this will probably get me in a little bit of trouble. All right, but it's worked well for me over the years. Emotion shows weakness. I learned that in the military years and years ago. Sometimes you got to be a nice guy. But for the most part, as an attorney, your job is to remove yourself from the emotion of the battle, to be, well, lack of a better term, a little cold-hearted, okay? But it usually plays well because you don't shoot off from the hip and get you in trouble, like this guy. A 35-year-old Missouri man is accused of threatening a coach on his son's basketball team and is now facing a felony terrorism charge. Officers from the Bolivar Police Department responded to Bolivar High School on January 27th. Brian Scott Pelham allegedly got angry with one of the Mooresville team coaches during a match between Mooresville and Branson. Pelham's son reportedly plays for Mooresville. Pelham had allegedly threatened to kill the coach because he was upset that a varsity coach was coaching the junior varsity team. My God, could you imagine the outrage? I'm surprised it was only Mr. Pelham. Well, Bolivar Police Investigating Officer Lieutenant Ron Barron said that Pelham made the comment after engaging in an argument with the coach that he threatened to kill them. It was something to the effect of, "I'll put a red dot on your head and watch the mist appear." I think that's a threat. That's right, that's a threat. Pelham reportedly admitted to making these statements and told the coach he knew where he lived. Not good. Not good. Mr. Pelham, you're an emotional wreck. You're a hothead. Probably somebody that shouldn't have a firearm with him. But it gets better, or worse. When Pelham was brought into custody, deputies from the Polk County Sheriff's Office noticed that he was in possession of a firearm. Pelham later admitted that he had the gun while he was at the school. Mr. Pelham, you are an emotional hothead wreck. Yeah, you should not have firearms. Mr. Pelham was arrested on suspicion of terrorist threat. Pelham was reportedly released from the Polk County Jail on a $25,000 bond. If convicted of second-degree felony terrorism threat charges, he could be ordered to serve up to 4 years in prison, and he could be ordered to pay a $10,000 fine. That, ladies and gentlemen, is an example of why you leave your emotions at the door. You can get excited, you can be happy, you can even be sad. But if you can't control yourself from threatening people because they're coaching another team, are you kidding me? Wow. And then you make threats, Mr. Pelham. We'll give you the presumption of innocence, but maybe you're going to be a dumb criminal contestant. You could be our backup today. Maybe that's it. Now, on to a more positive story. How about a story of a mom really shows some school spirit? A Tennessee grand jury this week indicted a 38-year-old woman on multiple charges, including 18 counts of... That's right, doing unlawful things with minors, with juvenile students at the McMinn County High School. Melissa Bear, who was active with the school booster club because she loves her school. It's not just because that's where the kids are. It's not just because that's where the kids are, right? That's why she was there. Well, she reportedly surrendered to the McMinn County Sheriff's Department after the indictment was handed down. She was jailed on a $100,000 bond. Now, McMinn County Sheriff Joe Guy said the Tennessee Department of Children's Services notified his department in December of reports that Ms. Blair had been having sexual encounters with multiple male students at the McMinn Central High School. The investigation found additional victims and evidence, ending with an indictment that included 4 counts of human trafficking by patronizing prostitution and 1 count of solicitation of a minor, in addition to the statutory rape charges. Now, the current charges are related to 9 confirmed male juvenile victims related to incidents which occurred from the spring of 2020 through late 2021. 7 of the victims are still juveniles. 2 were victimized as juveniles but are now adults. The youngest victim was 14 when the abuse began. The guy said that the sheriff's department suspected there will be more victims and encouraged parents to contact them. He said that Miss Blair was communicating with minors on social media, arranging meetings with them, and trading items for sexual encounters with them. Blair has been barred from the school, thank goodness, and any related school activities. The director of the school, Lee Parkinson, wanted to clear things up with Blair, that she was not associated with the school's booster club, but never had any official capacity with the school. That's some school spirit there, ladies and gentlemen. What do I tell you? When you got somebody that wants to hang out with kids that aren't their own, be careful. Be careful, okay? I'm telling you. Seen it. Another example. We'll give her the presumption of innocence, but once again, not looking good. All right, let's move on to some better news. Our dumb criminal of the day. Certainly to bring a smile to your face, to at least maybe just a shaking of the head. Prosecutors charged Eric Spencer and 3 cohorts for robbing a Chanel store in Manhattan last February. The robbers ran out of the store with an armful of bags and wallets. Spencer was arrested within a week of the robbery and locked up in a New Jersey county jail, where he had been sanctioned for exposing himself to correctional officers. So how did the FBI agents find Spencer so quickly after the robbery? Well, beginning on the night of the robbery, Spencer had reportedly Googled Chanel store robbery and Soho robbery. Chanel. When he was arrested, officials searched his phone and found multiple pictures of Chanel bags, as well as text to potential customers looking to buy the stolen designer bags. But the best piece of evidence has to be the tweets that Spencer sent out himself, including "so much double C. Right now, I could open a small boutique." The double C is referring to the Chanel logo. That's right. Well, this guy, he takes the cake. First of all, we've talked about in the past, don't live stream the crime scene. Well, don't Google what you just did either. You think the police haven't figured that one out? They can go get those search terms, find out which IP address it comes from. Oh, and then by the way, start selling Chanel bags that were allegedly stolen the next day? Are you kidding me? That's right, Mr. Spencer. You are a dumb criminal of the day. Congratulations. All right, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Crime Talk.